Well, hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Brand Builder series. I'm your host here, Willis Lane, and today we have a very special guest with us, Portia, the owner of Pretty Perfect and Classy with the K. If you don't mind just welcoming the people and let them know a little bit about yourself.
Well, again, my name is Porsche Young. I'm born and raised in Gary, Indiana. So I'm from Northwest Indiana, Steel City, Gary, Indiana. So that's where I'm from. Um, Moved to Indianapolis, was college bound, had my children here, got married here, pretty much raised my family all here in Indianapolis. And, I've always worked in the medical field and I've always, tutored and, worked with children and volunteer as well in the city. Um, Coming into my business, just to say, that started in 2021. I decided to own my own boutique, online boutique. And my inspiration from that really came from my aunt. She was a person who likes to create things. She likes to make her own earrings. And then I come from a background of a grandmother who made all my Sunday clothes for church. So, I come from a family of creators that know how to do things hands on. However, me, I personally will buy my stuff, but I'm learning to, venture out to some new things and hopefully in the future maybe start creating my own pieces as well.
Wow, wow, that's great. Definitely appreciate you sharing that insight.
Yes.
And I guess just to dig a little deeper, so we see the Pretty P collection. We see it in the boutiques. The MXP shop. We know that you have the various different fashion shows where your pieces are seen in. If you don't mind, just kind of just speaking to who your target audience is and some of just the messaging that you strive to just deliver through your apparel.
Just again through my slogan, pretty, perfect, and classy. I'm always just striving for that everyday look, the everyday woman, to be comfortable, relaxed in what they wear, confident in what they wear. I'm always looking for different pieces, unique pieces if I can find them. Because with the boutique, that's kind of like the main thing is you want to just strive to find pieces that you can get for people, but also, find unique things as well and not try to have the same things all the time. So I'm always definitely rotating into different pieces and finding new pieces. With that being said, like you're saying, I am at MXP Shops, which is 7826 North Michigan Road. You can find my pieces inside of the store as well as on site. But my vision behind my brand was to just, obviously start small, dream big, think big, and have my own standing storefront is what I definitely want. I mean, I'm inside MXP Shops, which is a collaborated store with a lot of other businesses, but someday I hope to have my own actual storefront.
Wow, wow, that's great. Looking at you today, I think that your story is very inspiring, to younger women and those that are striving to be business owners and be their own bosses as well, so to speak.
Mhm.
What
Mhm.
inspirational advice would you share to those that, maybe striving to open their own business, whether it be, in apparel or even another field?
Yeah, I would just say, if you have a vision of something you want to do, don't think it's not too small, to do that. You can always start small and build and build and build and connect with people. The biggest thing with me, with my business, has always been just getting training, working with the best people that I know here in the city to get the information that I need. So, collaborating, connections, getting training, even if you don't know a whole lot about a business or you don't know someone in your family that has a business, you can definitely get training on that. There's different programs in the city. If you look online that can actually teach you on how to start up a business, get your branding name, your LLC. But like I said, for someone coming in with this, like I said, if you have something that you're passionate about, or if something is something that you can create on your own, that's even better. Definitely know that you can make a plan for that and you can see that plan through to where you can build something from that can be very powerful and very great to share with the world. For my business personally, I would say the age group, because I know you asked me about the target group, I would say probably from like ages 16 up. would be my kind of target group for my business, maybe even 14-year-olds too as well. But I'm getting ready to do this junior fashion show, which is going to be on April 6th. And so Pretty P Kollection is actually going to come out with some miniature items as like a special thing that we're doing just for this fashion show. This youth fashion show that we're doing April 6th is basically going to be honoring youth groups that do a lot of different things around the city. And they reached out to me. They wanted me to coordinate the fashion show. I was agreeing to coordinate the fashion show. However, Pretty P Kollection doesn't have, small children items. So, but when anytime somebody asks me to do something and it's a challenge for me, I'm going to make sure that I see it through and we're going to make it happen. If I have to kind of tweak some things and make it happen, we're going to make it happen. So, and I'm definitely, I'm always about working with kids and just showing them different things so that it kind of builds their confidence up too. So I'm definitely on team board with the kids. Porsche loves the kids, so I'm definitely going to work with them. So it'll be interesting because I've never done this before with my items with the kids doing it. So the age group with that, my youngest is probably about 5, and my oldest I want to say is like 18, 19. In this fashion show, and that's going to be April 6th that we're doing here in the city. So this is the first time for Pretty P Kollection to do this junior fashion show. We're going to be showing African pieces as well as Pretty P Kollection pieces. And so I've partnered with Jay's Boutique and Braids, which is actually out here on Pendleton Pike, or like Lawrence area, I believe she's in. So I partnered with her to bring in the African piece design. So the children will be wearing the African pieces as well as wearing my designs and some of my accessories in the actual fashion show.
Wow, that's very exciting, and just hearing, how it's going to be tied, to the cultural expression as well.
Mhm.
That's definitely very unique. I wanted to touch on a quick thing in our conversation thus far. One common trend that I found is that you're big on collaborating and big on working with others. Can you
Mhm.
kind of just speak to just your mindset
So,
towards collaboration and how it's been impactful for you?
yes, the collaboration has been great for me. Porsche, we'll just talk about a little bit about Porsche. So I'm a brand ambassador. Like I told you, I work in healthcare. I'm a signed model from MV Models and Talent out of Cincinnati, Ohio. And I work with a lot of, right now, I'm working with a realtor. So I'm helping her with her realtor business and being a brand ambassador for that. I'm working with Elite Garb. And then I'm also working with Cream de la Cream, which is out of Gary, Indiana, where I'm from. So that's kind of where I actually started, is working with them and showing some of their different pieces in their store. I just kind of just branched out. I want to say that I really went strong probably about 5 years ago. And it just kind of took off from there. It just kind of took off from there. But yes, I'm definitely big on collaborating with people, working together so we all can grow our business and be stronger. And if I can help, grow their business and we can kind of exchange ideas, work off each other, that's what's definitely going to help us all grow, and get to our main goal of what we want.
Wow, absolutely, absolutely. Collaboration, is just so important, and it allows you to really just learn, about different things that you may not have even been familiar with. So kind of just another key point that, I found that you're really big on, is just, giving back to the community. You mentioned,
Mhm.
how you're from Gary, Indiana, and
Yeah.
but you're currently based, in Indianapolis. Can you just
Mhm.
kind of just speak to, some of the various community initiatives, that you're in and what you're have in the works?
So right now I work with the Glam Association, and the Glam is a program for girls, teen girls that have been through just a lot of bad things in their life, and they're just looking for a safe place to go. And so with the Glam Girls, we actually have a Glam house that's going to be downtown Indianapolis. The house hasn't opened yet because they're doing some renovations on it right now. But once the house is open, I'm sure we'll be putting out, things on social media about like a grand opening for people to come and check it out. But the house will actually have mentors there on site. It will have computers there on site for the children, and it'll have, there'll be some days where the kids will be able to kind of like stay overnight. I mean, some of these kids, They might be going through something terrible at home and they just need a place to go for just a few days or a week or even 2 weeks. So the way that we're going to be working this out is there will be like kind of like a house mom that'll be there to kind of like run things and just make sure that the kids are okay, that they're eating, that they're doing their work, different things like that. Some kids may stay short term, some kids may stay long term. It just kind of depends on the situation they're in and what we're able to do on our end. So, we got to get clearance for a lot of these different things, especially with dealing with children and taking them away from the parents and different things like that. So, I'm sure, we're going to go through that whole process of that. But my role in working with GLAM is to be one of those mentors to come in and kind of talk to them and just kind of, make sure that their head is in a clear spot and that, they still have confidence to kind of move forward. And whatever they're going through, let's talk about it. Let's get through it. Let's see how we can, make a way to kind of change things for you. I don't know everybody's situation because everybody's situation is different. But I know my situation of being a person raised by my grandparents and dealing with a mother that was mentally ill. So my situation has a lot of impact on other, children that, may have had a parent that was abusive or may had a parent that was mentally ill, but didn't really come to terms that they are mentally ill. And so, they're having to go through those struggles of that. And so I guess my experience is kind of pulled into why I want to work with children because it's like I've been there. I've been in those dark places before. And sometimes it's hard to come out of those dark places. And, sometimes you have to do something to just make yourself feel better and feel more confident and feel like, this is not the end of my life. I can move on. I can do something great.
Right. Wow, that's great. Just the inspiration that you have to give back to those, that are in those particular situations, and giving your experience, as a motivating factor for them. One key thing, that I heard, in that delivery was just, your ability to overcome adversity and your ability to inspire others to overcome adversity as well. If you don't mind, could you just kind of speak on, what you would say to people, in challenging situations and even those that may be in business and facing different challenges? How would you advise them to face the adversity and work through it?
For myself, a lot of times, having supportive family, talking to finding the right person you can talk to. Because a lot of times in certain situations like this, you can't talk to everybody, and sometimes you don't want to relay your business to everybody. And it could be you want to protect somebody. And so that's the reason why you don't share as much as what you want to share, even with, let's say it's a child and your teacher's asking like, what's wrong with you today? And you feel like you just don't want to share all that information with that person. But you may find an aunt or someone or a cousin or someone you can confide in and you can really kind of just get those things out. Because I think it's better to get those things out than to keep them in. Because once you keep those things in, it takes you to this dark place. And, it affects you, on the outer as well as inner. And so I just feel like, you have to connect with somebody that you feel safe to talk to. And that's, kind of the reason why the GLAM Foundation is founded, just so that you can have that safe place to talk to who you need to talk to. And so for me personally, I found that in my aunt. She was the one that I could go to and talk to about every little situation that's going on with me mentally, physically. And I felt like, my aunt was my second mom. She was definitely my second mom. And, being that I didn't have my mother was mentally ill and she was, in those dark places and she would talk to herself. And, I just felt like I never had that mother-daughter connection. And, I wanted to have that. That is something I wanted to have. And so I found that in that second person, which was my aunt. And so I was able to tell her everything. I would go with her. Like I said, she was the one with the inspiration with doing the jewelry and going to her the different shows and vendoring. I was doing all that with her. I was like her mini me. She never had children. So I was her mini me and I would go with her everywhere where she went. And so with her, it was just inspiring to watch her do her thing as far as, selling her items. And then it was inspiring to me because she had always encouraging words to say to me. She know I would be feeling down. She know that I just I was in a situation where I was raised by my grandparents, and they did a great job. That nothing saying against my grandparents; they did a great job. But it's nothing like having your own mom and dad, just there for you. And I didn't have that growing up. It was just me and my grandparents and my aunt. So, I'm glad that God gave me a strong foundation of somebody to support me and be there for me growing up. So.
Wow, wow. That's great. Just for a quick moment, I kind of want to just pivot to another area. I feel like, as business owners, as creatives, sometimes, it can seem as though we have a lot on our plate and we're trying to figure out how to balance it all, and
Mhm.
effectively manage it. If you don't mind, could you kind of just speak to, the ways in which you find balance, just, balancing everything that you have going on? So.
Well, for me, it's more like juggling. It's more like juggling for me because I'm like, I got this in my mind, but I need to do this, and so for me, I try to put my calendar is my best friend. I will say that's my best friend. If I put it on my calendar, I say, you got to do these 3 things today. So that's my best friend. I try to put everything on my calendar. If I'm doing something today and I'm connecting with someone, I'm just making sure I stay in communication with them up until that point, of when we need to meet or speak or whatever it is that we need to do. But for me, my calendar is my top priority as far as keeping myself organized. I have an assistant I work with. Her name is Shabria. She's wonderful. She's been helping me with this fashion show, and she's been kind of, just keeping me a little bit in order. So it's helpful to just have, somebody to kind of help you out here and there. Even if she's not with me all the time, she's definitely like reminding me about things like, hey, you got to do this. You didn't do this. So, it's great to have, that second person behind you to kind of, give you that nudge or give you that push to kind of, get you what you need. I will say, a lot of people don't like to do this. They like to put everything on their phones as well. But you can have a notepad, write things down. Make certain key points of things that you want to do and just mark them off. Mark them off as you go. Say, hey, Monday I'm going to do these 3 things and I'm going to accomplish these 3 things. And then on Wednesday I'm going to work on these other 3 things. You don't have to feel like you have to do all 10 things at once because sometimes it can be very overwhelming. With me, like I said, I do modeling. A brand ambassadoring, doing this. I'm doing my vendoring. I'm everywhere. So, like I said, I'm more juggling than anything. I'm just like, okay, where we are today. But I will say that, like, if you feel like you need to have a system, writing things down, checking them off, and just saying, okay, today we're going to work on these 3 things. We're going to make sure that we accomplish this by the 5 o'clock. And you just put that guideline on yourself. And that's what you have to do, especially in a business, to make sure that you are hitting everything that you need to make sure that everything is perfect for what you want your business to be. And for me, it's always been a learning curve because obviously I've never had a business before. This is the first time that I've decided to get my LLC and move forward. But I will say that writing down things, I know it's the old school way, but I think when you can see it on paper, it's good.
All right, for sure, for sure. Uh, Kind of just even going off what you just said, kind of with the learning curve piece and kind of being new to the business field, so to speak. Are there any mentors or, anybody that kind of helped you along the way or even people that you looked up to from afar just for guidance? How have you navigated this space?
Well, I follow a lot of local boutiques here in the city. I've modeled for a lot of boutiques here in the city. And I will say that being in the modeling industry, of course, you work with a lot of different people. So Ice Factory is kind of one of the ones, they're a boutique here in Indianapolis. I've worked with them. They were like the first boutique that I actually worked with. And I actually modeled and did like videos with them and things like that they posted on their webpage and on the Instagram, I'm saying. So they posted on there. But I would say just the local boutiques here in the city. I follow a lot of them. I see the trending things that are out there. Like I was telling you, my aunt, she's a creator. She does everything with her hands. My grandmother, who sewed all my Sunday clothes. So we didn't buy clothes. We didn't go to the store. Everything I had was handmade. And, I wish I got her skills in sewing, but I have 3 sewing machines here, that were gifted to me basically from my mom. And so I have those here, and I'm hoping in the future that I could put something to use with those sewing machines. So um, I would just say just the influential main people in my family, and like I said, local boutiques that I've worked here with in the city have been my main inspiration on, well, if they can do it, I can do this too.
Right, right. Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. Kind of just pivoting to another area real quick. I know you touched on, just your involvement, in modeling, and
Hmm.
I'm kind of just curious to know, in the modeling field, it can just be so competitive, just from looking on the outside. How did you just build up the confidence to just take on that field, and be confident in what you're doing as a model?
Um, well, that kind of started from high school. So in high school, we had like little talent shows, different runway shows, and so I kind of initially started in high school, doing, every time they had like a model call or something like that, I would go. I also, I think a little bit of me being in the drama club, because I would do drama club in the summer. It was like a summer program they had in my hometown in Gary, and I always did the drama club. Uh, every time they had a sign up for summer, like summer camp, I would always sign up for that. So I think me wanting to, because I've always had the vision to want to act. I always wanted to act. I even been trying to do a couple roles here recently. I've been trying to learn lines and different things like that. So, and I've been in a couple music videos for a couple artists here in the city. I've done that as well. And they're like on YouTube and everything right now. But I've been trying to branch myself into a lot of different things, if you haven't noticed. But like I said, I would definitely be like, when you talk about someone that's inspiring when it comes to like the acting scene, it would have to be Taraji Henson. So I have to go with
Okay,
her. Yeah, I would have to go
okay,
with her. That's my girl. That's
okay.
my girl because she started later on in life. After she had her kid and she started acting, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. That's kind of where I'm at.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, I know we're kind of getting close to the time and everything like that, but I kind of just want to, give you the floor to let everybody know, how they can connect with you, the things
Okay.
that you have coming up, in the near future, and everything like that.
Okay. Well, I know that on the 30th of this month, we are going to be doing our entrepreneur series, a meet and greet. We're going to be doing that at the end of this month at MXP Shops. That is 7826 North Michigan Road. So you'll get to meet myself as well as other entrepreneurs that are inside of that store. Some of the different things that they're able to offer. As well as the owner. The owner of the store, she does candles, so that's her business, and she also books her site location for if you have like business meetings you want to do there or certain different things like a sip and paint. She does those things at that store as well. So you can definitely talk to her and you can book it for your personal event. It could be a book signing. It could be just pretty much anything. If you need a space, you can definitely use her space for that. That and then I also have the fashion show that's coming up on April 6th. I will be putting the links on my Pretty P Kollection Instagram. So there'll be a link under my bio to go there and to actually get information in regards to the fashion show if anybody wants to come to the fashion show. But I try to keep that updated just on the Pretty P Kollection Instagram. I'm also on Facebook, Pretty P Kollection, and that's collection with a K. I'm on there as well. And you can find it out. I'll put things on there, but I think I keep the Instagram a little more updated than the Facebook. So I would say your Instagram will be probably your first source of finding information as far as links to where to go, as far as if there's an event or something coming up like that. I'm also a model, so they can also follow me on Only Porsche 911, and that's my other Instagram for just my modeling, my acting, my brand ambassador stuff. That's where you can find me there as well.
Okay, well, Portia, we appreciate you coming on the show, sharing everything that you have going on. Again, Portia, owner of Pretty P Kollection. You have all the information on the screen on how you can connect with her, follow along her journey. Definitely tap in. She has a lot going on. She's very inspiring too,
Mhm.
up and coming women, you know, that are striving to be in the business field as well. And she's well connected. So definitely somebody that you want to connect with. Again,
Yes.
Portia, we appreciate you coming on. Thank you. That's a wrap.
Thank you.